I open up his diaper.
And what's inside?
There was a dime.
Yeah.
In between his butt cheeks.
Yep.
And I was like, do what?
I'm making money doing this now? Welcome, everybody, to the Bob and Katie Show.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Bob. And if I had to describe this episode in a wordy, make people picture it in their mind kind of thing, I would say it's kind of like if you were driving a car at night with sunglasses on. That's pretty much what we're doing.
What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, like, we don't have like a laid out plan. You know, I think both of us have a couple things that we'd like to talk about, but it's not really put together.
That's how I live my life. I don't
Our
know what.
kids, we record into
Welcome to the dark side, Bob.
Yeah.
Welcome to the dark side.
We record
It's
into
called
a
flying
device.
by the seat of your pants.
It is. We record into a device called a Zoom, and the children decided to play with it and broke the headphone jack. So I can't really hear how everything's going. We're just hoping it turns out well.
Flying by the seat of our pants. Winging it. Winging it.
Not only, but they're
That's
gifted.
where you insert hashtag winning.
They're gifted children. Not only can they break headphone jacks
Everything.
of very expensive equipment, they can find anything in your house. If there's anything in your house that could be poured, they will do that.
Or
They will.
squeezed.
Yes.
Or sprayed.
Yeah. And they lick things. And it's pandemonium and chaos every moment of the day.
Today, our children squirted squeezy mayonnaise into sippy cups and ate it with a spoon like it was ice cream.
So at what point did you find out this was happening? And what were you doing? Watching The Guiding Light or something?
What? No, I was taking a shower. And whenever I got out, they were eating mayonnaise and
It makes me
5 minutes later,
queasy just thinking about eating.
Oh,
like
it does me too. It does.
I love mayonnaise.
I'm gagging.
It's weird.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to eat mayonnaise with a spoon out of a sippy cup.
Because if you have 2 pieces of bread, right, and some ham and some cheese and lettuce and tomatoes, and people's like, "Here's this," you're like, "Oh, it's good. It's a sandwich." Man, you got some mayonnaise? Because some mayonnaise would be great. And you think about that, and you're like, "Oh my God, so good."
But we live in North Carolina.
Yeah.
It better be that Duke's mayonnaise, with the yellow label.
But if somebody handed you just a spoon with mayonnaise on it, it's like, "Here, try this," you'd be like, "You are out of your mind. I ain't putting that nasty mess in my mouth." Isn't that weird?
No, not at all.
I don't know.
I'm sorry. Hang on. I thought I could do this and
You thought you could do what? Paint your fingernails while we're doing a podcast?
Yeah, it's way harder than I thought. Well, and then too, I'm trying to paint my right hand. With my left. I give you
No, I'm not cutting any of this out. You better keep talking.
better.
No,
You
I'm
better
not.
take it
I'm not
out.
cutting any of it out. You brought how many things of fingernail polish are on this table right now?
I don't know.
You know what? This project, I was like, hey, let's do this project, the podcast. I have literally
multitasking, baby. I'm multitasking.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 pieces of equipment that help us do this. You have 97 bottles of fingernail polish and 10 fingers. I don't know what you're planning on doing, but
I think you're exaggerating just a little bit.
am I?
Yes, later.
You know what? I might be exaggerating. Why don't you tell them the true number of bottles of fingernail polish that you have sitting on this table right now? Tell them the true number on the table right now.
Maybe like 30.
And how many fingers you got? Was I wrong with that
10.
one? Well, I mean, technically, I guess you got 8, but there's
Oh my god.
10 fingernails. I know you're busy right now painting your fingernails, but I was under the impression that you had some kind of story you wanted to tell me.
Oh yeah. So after the mayonnaise incident, me and the kids, I finished getting ready, and I load up all the kids, and we go out just to run a couple quick errands. I needed to go to Walmart. And it just so happens that I needed to go to the eyeglass place to get Riley a new pair of glasses because he has a new prescription. And we usually get his at the place right inside of Walmart.
Can we stop right there for a second?
Yeah.
Parent hack. Everybody that's a parent, listen to this. We figured it out. Thankfully, we figured it out without messing up. If your kids have to get glasses and you go to Walmart, they sell a protection plan for $20. For the love of God, buy it. Let me tell you what, we did it because I was like, $20 ain't that bad. I wasn't sure what it would cover, but I was like, whatever, we'll do it.
Anything, as long as you bring the glasses in, it covers them.
You
It covers
could-
anything except for if they're
If
lost.
the child set the glasses on fire, as long as you took the melted plastic in, they will replace it.
We replace,
For
and
like a
it's good.
year.
Yeah, it's good for 1 year. And I know last year with last year's prescription and glasses, we replaced them
4 or 5 times?
5 times. He had 6 pairs total. They were
Yeah.
1 pair, and it was replaced 5 times. So
6 pair.
yeah. So it more than paid for itself.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
More. So anyway, I take all
What
3
if,
of.
what if other people's kids don't do stuff like that? We were talking about the mayonnaise and the glasses, and what if other people are like, what is wrong with their children?
I don't. Maybe somebody tell me what is wrong with our children. Why did our children fill up Noah's Ark with ketchup?
Oh,
Why
no.
does a child do that? I don't know. I haven't cracked that nut yet.
This is a good one I don't think we've talked about.
The Noah's Ark full of ketchup,
No. That's good.
or the snack cups full of pancake syrup.
I don't really know too much about that one. A long, long time ago when the Bob and Katie show first came out, we were getting a lot of steam and we were like, you know what? We're going to have advertisers, right? And we did that. And we used to, we talked about a product called Enjoy Deodorant Cream. It was one of our first sponsors. And they sent us some. They were like, here, use this, like on your feet, and then tell people about it. Truth be told, we never used it.
Nope.
There was no way I was going to use that stuff at all. But we kept it because it was cool. It was like, I had it in the podcast room. It was a part of our show.
Yeah.
Also, what I had in the podcast room was this set of Ninja Turtles that my buddy Tim gave me. If I had to guess, they're probably worth, I don't know, $150 maybe? Like, they're really cool, like, little posable action figures on plate things.
That sounds really fancy.
Yeah. And they're drinking Mountain Dew. No, but the kids found the deodorant cream and then went, hey,
Let's smear this all over God's creation.
Yeah, these turtles smell bad. Let's put some deodorant cream on them. And
they had that stuff all over our
Oh,
house.
it was so bad.
And the thing is, I don't know what this stuff is made out of, but it don't wash off.
No, no. I think it would have been great deodorant. It might have been
It does
really
not-
good.
because
We could have used it 5 years ago.
I am
and it'd still be
35
working.
years old, and there was one day of my life that I stood at my kitchen sink scrubbing plastic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with a toothbrush and degreaser to get deodorant foot cream off of them that my children had rubbed all over them. I've done that.
You know what, though? You think to yourself, it's crazy that you had to do that. That's something that you don't think about, right?
I could have done without
It's
that.
something you don't think about. Like when you were
It was
younger.
not on my bucket list.
Yeah, when you were young, you never thought you would do that. Let me tell you what. Not only did I not go, I'll never do that, but let me tell you something that never ever crossed my mind before I had kids. I never thought to myself, you know what? One day I'm going to have to clean assholes. Like, I never thought that
No,
before.
2 mornings ago, right? Yeah, wait. Yesterday morning,
Mm-hmm.
okay. I opened up Reese's diaper to change his diaper first thing in the morning.
Yeah, you had to clean an asshole first thing in the morning.
Yes.
First thing.
I opened up his diaper.
And what's inside?
There was a dime
Yeah.
in between his butt cheeks.
Yep.
And I was like, do what?
I'm making money doing this now.
And he didn't poop. He didn't poop it out. There was no poop.
Yeah.
So I think he's to that age. He sticks things in his diaper, like as a pocket. And I told you about it. You said, oh, I remember he was playing with a dime last night. So from what we gather, this child stuck a dime in his booty crack for safekeeping overnight. It was nestled just right between his butt cheeks.
He went and got it. I can tell you how that happened. They were upstairs, and I guess he found it somewhere. Just because we're rich and we just got dimes laying everywhere. But he was coming down the stairs.
The kids got a hold of a piggy bank the other day and dumped all the change out.
Oh, is that what it was?
And I think a few pieces got missed.
He's holding it up and I see him because I'm walking in front of him because he can walk down the stairs now, but I don't let him walk down by himself. I kind of I stay in front of him like a couple steps at a time and I'm walking backwards. It's probably way dangerous for me. But he holds it up and he goes, "Monies."
Yeah, does he?
He said, "Monies."
Monies.
I said, "That's a dime. Where'd you get that from?" He said, "Reagan Room." And he said, "Monies, monies." He kept saying monies. And I brought him down. He dropped it. Rolled under the table. And I showed him where it was. And he got it. And I was like, "Hey, let's put it on the counter, okay?" Because we were getting ready to lay him down. And honestly, he didn't even be playing with a dime, you know? And I put it on the counter. And then I went and got his milk and stuff. And I guess while I was doing that, he went and got it off the counter and hid it in his butt. Like he's a little
Can
prisoner.
you imagine him just reaching with his chubby little hand up on that counter and sliding that dime off?
Yeah, put it
and
right in
just
his prison
sticking
wallet.
it right in his butt cheeks. And it sat there all night.
Yeah. Can I just tell you how happy I am right now?
So, so I was telling you
Or
about
not.
our
I mean,
outing.
whatever.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, go ahead. How happy are you?
This is something that just happened to me personally and nobody got to experience it. So I'm going to share it with Deadpool came out and it was a great movie. Great movie. So good, in fact, that a Deadpool 2 came out. And in this movie, they're in like this prison for mutants. And that kid used the term prison wallet when he was talking about his butt crack.
Yeah.
And I said, one day I'm going to get to use that. And it just happened.
Today was that day.
And I feel completed inside, you know? So tell me about your outing.
Okay. So I've got all three kids. I go first to the eyeglass store, which if you can only imagine, I took three small children into a store full
Of things to touch and break.
Glasses. Yeah. And went, okay, don't touch anything, kids.
And they were like,
what do you think they do? They're touching everything.
They're like, when we're at home, Mom, have you ever known of us not to touch anything? As a matter of fact, remember that box of clothes that came in the mail? You ordered some stuff online? There's mayonnaise inside that box now. Because there is. Where did you order these clothes from?
Children's Place.
And you're pulling them out. You go to the show. He's like, "Look at this," and there's mayonnaise just in these bags.
Thank God, it was. In
I was like, "Did that come from the Children's Place store?"
No, that came from our children.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I'm trying to get Riley to try on because we're gonna get him like different frames this time, and he's picking like the brightest thing you can.
Can I have these neon ones that glow in the dark and people can see it from space, Mommy? Please, Mommy.
Like I let him try his pair on, and they were so bright blue.
Yeah. Be like, bro, you're not gonna be.
And like he tried them on, and I was like, oh my God, there is no way I'm letting him walk around in these because like he has bifocals too.
You can't say stuff like that. There's probably somebody listening right now that are like,
bad?
I bought those glasses for my kid. And they probably look great on your kid. We have a different kid. It's just a different kid. He's got a big head.
Well, and some of them weren't like he does have a big head.
I know that's my fault. I'm sorry.
Some of the glasses just don't look big enough for his head. So anyway, we find him glasses, and the lady's trying to help us, right? And so we go and we sit down, and she's trying to get our information, and the kids are just literally just bouncing. And this lady's trying to talk to me. And before you know it, all three of our kids are quacking like ducks.
And you're just like, give me the glasses. Just give me the glasses so I can go.
And I'm sitting there. I'm squatting down on the floor because the one chair, the children have it. Two of the children. The small child is sitting on me as I'm squatting on the floor, and they're quacking like ducks. And I'm like, God, stop, please, stop it. I'm kidding. And like the more I tell them to stop, the louder they get. And then they're doing hand motion.
Quack, 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 quack.
And so my three children are going crazy, going quack, quack, quack. And I was like, I do not have all my ducks in a row. And it is so literal right now. I was like, I have like the literal picture of this lady does not have her ducks in a row. I'm like, man, this was a really bad idea.
If we had to sit here and name things about our kids and just go, okay, well, Bob, that's Bob. That's Katie. For sure. big head, that's me. That came from my blood.
Where'd the quacking come from?
I'm going to go with that's me too, because that sounds like something I would do if I was a kid. Like if my mom, I'm 5 years old, 6 years old, my mom takes me to a glasses store, I'm going to start quacking like a duck until she gets me out of there. But like, I'm bored, mommy. Do you want to know how bored I am? Quack, 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 quack,
Exactly.
quack, 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 quack.
And like the place was just filling up with customers. I mean, like just one right after the other. And I was just getting more and more and more embarrassed.
I'm just telling you, like,
and because I was like, there's nothing I can do right now.
You're such a better parent than me. You're a better parent than me, because if I was there and they started quacking, I would have looked at it late and I'd have been like, I guess he's just going to have to be blind. We leaving. He ain't get no glasses today. No sight for him.
So we finished at the glasses place, and then I have to actually go into Walmart. Got to get a birthday present for a birthday party we're going to tomorrow. And like some wipes and diapers. And like that's all I went for. Forgot the diapers.
Back to the whole
didn't get the diapers.
You have to, not only when you were younger did you never think, hey, I'm going to have to clean assholes one day, but you're going to not only you have to clean them, you're not getting paid to do it, and you're having to buy supplies.
Oh yes, constantly. It feels like constantly.
Anybody who doesn't have kids yet and you're thinking, I'm going to have a kid, get ready for it. The asshole cleaning is coming. That's like not just yours, other people. And if you have like 3 or 4 people, it's a lot of assholes you have to clean for really a long time.
Yes.
Like for a long time, for like a few years.
We're
just
responsible for lots of them under this one roof. So anyway, we go.
And if you don't do it, people will come to your house and take them away.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
If you just decide one day, I'm not cleaning these little assholes anymore.
You can't do that. You can't do that. No. You will go to jail.
Yeah. They'll take the people away and put you in a small box. And we're like, you can't leave.
So I take the kids over to the toy section to get this birthday present. The kids, they had been, they had squirt mayonnaise everywhere. So I was like, don't ask me for toys. Do not ask me for toys. So we go, and of course, they're like, they want everything in the whole entire aisle. And I was like, guys, you didn't behave today. I was like, we'll try again another day and you can be good and we'll come back and we'll get you a toy. And Riley just starts I'm wailing, top of his lungs. He's lying down in the cart because I can't let him walk because he's just going berserk. So he's just laying down, going berserk. And at this point, I'm just like, I don't even care anymore. I don't even care. I was like, all right, let's go get the next thing. Da, da, da. And I'm walking along and he's just wailing. Yes. And I was like, I got to use the restroom. Maybe we need to take a break and I need to go have a discussion with him. So I take all 3 children in the restroom and we go to the handicap stall because it's big and I got to have all of us in there at one time. Whoa, there is somebody in the stall right next to us that I'm pretty sure was trying to do number 2.
Oh, nice.
And every single one of our children took a turn peeking at this lady under the wall.
No.
And I was so embarrassed. I was like, please stop. Don't do that. You can't do that. I wanted to.
I'm dying. This might be the best story you've ever told me in my life.
Riley goes, just so loud. He goes, Mommy, you need to check Reese's diapers. Something stinks.
That's the best ever. Ow.
And I was like, please go wash your hands so we can go. Please go wash your hands.
At this point.
Sorry, I choked. I'm not done. So I get him out of the...
If it was me, I would have had all my pants. I wouldn't even pull my pants up. I'd have walked out of there holding kids with my pants around my ankles trying to get out of that bathroom.
I was doing that like low, deep voice. You better get your... You better go wash your hands and get out of the...
She's trying to poop. You want to be on and then poop at you. You look at it a little bit so like it. Get back over here. You tell me one more time. You count to 3?
Riley, he's giving me a hard time, like washing his hands, drying his hands. By the time I get him out of the bathroom and back to the cart, he's like fighting me, And so I'm putting him back in the cart and there's like a family standing there. It's like a group of people. And
And you just got to look at them dead in the face and go, hey, the lady that's with y'all is about to come out there. She's going to have a hell of a story. Get ready.
I'm sure they saw the interaction, and I'm sure they overheard me. And if they saw how Riley was behaving, hopefully they were those type of people that said, I don't blame her, because I leaned in nice and close and I was like, Riley, if you don't behave, I will put every one of these items back and we will go straight to the car.
What
And
a
then
day,
I was
man.
like, oh my God.
What a day.
That is the first time I've ever like threatened my child in public where other people like could hear me. I was like, yep, I'm here. I'm here. I don't even care because he's not behaving. It's either that or I'm just going to leave him here in the store and let him be Walmart's problem. Oh, so then I leave. Well, I mean, we go pay for our stuff, get to the car, get all the kids buckled in, right? Well, I go to back up, and there's a guy, he had been getting the carts, and it just happened, the carts, I parked right beside the cart corral thing. So he had a line of carts, and they were, like, not directly behind me, but they were, like, kind of behind me, you know. So I could only back up one way. If I backed up the other way, I would hit the carts. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I go to back out, you know, slowly, and back up the other way, and I start, our car has the beep beep thing if you get too close to something when you're backing up. So I back up and I'm watching and then it starts beeping. I was like, oh, okay. And I turn around and I go to pull forward and go beside the carts and there's a car there, an older lady, and she's pointing at my parking spot that I just pulled out of. Like she wants my spot and I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm leaving. You can have it. But as I sit there, I'm like, wait, I'm surveying the situation. I'm like, I'm trapped. I can't back up anymore because our car is like a bus and, you know, there's another row.
Yeah.
I can't pull forward because there's this lady and there's a row of carts that the guy hasn't. He was like off gathering some more. You know?
Oh, so she was close. She was trying to get in there.
Yeah, she had blocked me in trying to get to my spot, but I was like not even all the way out of it yet. And so I sit there for a minute like, the only way I can go is that way, and she's in the way. And so I motion at her, like, you got to back up.
Yeah.
And she's just pointing at my spot. And I'm like, I get that. You can have the spot. You see me leaving. I don't need it anymore.
Uh-huh.
You got to back up. I'm trying to motion to her. I have to go that way. You got to back up. And she just keeps pointing. So then I think I start raising my voice like she can hear me. Our windows are up. Her windows are up. But I'm getting louder. And I'm like, back up. I'm trapped. I'm sitting in the middle of the parking lot. And I'm like, back up. And she just keeps pointing at the parking spot. And I'm like, I put the car in park. And I sit there and I was like, I'm going to have to go explain this to her before she will move.
Wait. So you put the car in park?
She started inching closer to me and I was trapped. I couldn't get out. And yeah, I started to panic. I put the car in park and I was like 1 second away from going and knocking on her window and going, I can't move until you move. She wouldn't move. Well, then, bless the little Walmart guy's heart, I guess he saw me going back up. And he comes and he moves the carts. So, sorry, I'm choking. So I can go around her. And I guess she got the parking spot.
That probably went a lot less dramatic than if I would have been with you.
I don't know. I think
Because I'd have been inside her car with her, showing her how to move.
I mean, like, it felt like the situation lasted for a long time. I feel like I was sitting there for a long time.
And it probably wasn't that long.
Going back up. But then, like, at one point, I was like, she's not moving. That's the only way I can go. What are we going to do here? You know, I'm like, what are we going to do?
You should have just went back. You should just pull right back into the parking spot and then got out and started getting the kids out. You know what I mean? Just to make her go, are you kidding me? And then she drove off.
Like, I feel like I pulled a ball. I was like, I'm going to have to go talk to her.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to have to go have a chat with this lady.
I've only done that a couple times.
I was going for it. If that dude had not come right at that moment and move those carts, oh yes, we would have been having a chat.
Were you with me the day that I'd come off it was an exit off of one of the 4 lanes or something.
And we were turning right, and there was a guy turning left, and he pulled up so far, and he had this big van.
Yeah.
And you went up and knocked on his window. You put our car in park.
I put the car in park, the middle of the road.
And was like, you are pulled up way too far. I can't see.
Yeah, back up.
That's
He pulled past the line, this big van.
That's what I thought was going to have to happen. And I was like, I don't like conflict.
I love it. I love some conflict.
Like she was inching closer to me. And I'm like, no, back up.
Let's go back to the kids for just one more moment. Because something so funny happened the other night that you didn't get to take part of. And I love it when I have those stories because you're forever showing me something the kids are doing. I'm like, what? When did this happen? You sent me a video of Reese, and he's 19 months? No, he's
going to be 2 at the end of this month.
And you sent me a video like 3 or 4 weeks ago of him counting. And I was like, I didn't even know he could say those numbers.
I didn't know he could. I wasn't in the laundry room. I think we may have talked about it on the last episode. And yeah, he came in there and just counted to 11. I was like, yeah. How do you even know what numbers are?
Well, I got to experience something that I don't think you have yet.
Okay.
We were down here last night and we heard like some banging around going on upstairs, and the kids should have been in bed. And then we heard them go in the bathroom. Somebody went in the bathroom. As a parent, this is like a deer in the woods.
No, after we had already put them to bed and we were downstairs. They were supposed to be asleep.
Yeah, so it's like a deer in the woods and somebody steps on a twig. Like that's what happens as a parent. You mute the TV, pause it.
Yeah.
And you just sit there and listen in the silence.
Like there's a disturbance.
What's going on up there? Well, whoever it was went to the bathroom. But after a minute or two, they didn't come out. So I was like, I guess I need to go up there and check on them. So I go up the stairs all slow, because if they come out and go in the room, I don't want to interrupt it because I want them to stay in the room. So you got to be like a ninja and smart all at the same time to be a parent. But I get up to the top of the stairs and the door's open to the bathroom. I'm peeking over the banister, and the light's on, but nobody's coming out. And I was like, oh God, what's going on? So I walk over and I look in the bathroom, and our son is standing in front of the toilet with his pants down to his ankles, holding his penis in front of the toilet like he's peeing, but he's asleep. His eyes are closed. He's not peeing, and he's just standing there just sleeping.
Do you think he was sleepwalking?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, that's good that he got up, and we know he peed because we could hear it.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess he just fell asleep before he got done.
And I'm like, what do I do? Because I heard you're not supposed to like wake somebody up that's sleeping.
Yeah.
So I walk over and I was like, I'm definitely going to wake him up. Because I mean, what am I supposed to just pick him up all naked and take him in the bedroom and lay him down? So I ease down and I go, hey buddy. And he didn't even startle him. He just opened his eyes and he goes, hey daddy. And I said, you want to pull your pants up? Go back to bed? And he goes, I think that's a good idea. And I said, all right, well, let's go. And I get up and I walk to the door and I turn around and now he's facing me instead of the toilet. The pants are still around his ankles and his eyes are closed and his head's tilted back and he's snoring.
Oh.
How is that even possible to stay standing up? So then I panic because I'm like, oh God, he's going to fall.
Oh my gosh.
And I put my hands around his waist and he opens his eyes and he goes, I thought I was going to bed. And I was like, yeah, come on.
Oh my gosh.
So then I have to hold his hand and walk him into the bedroom. And I'm like, thank God he didn't pee in his bed. Because I mean, like he was tired enough.
Or fall down.
Yeah, or anything. I was like, we're going to have to start listening. And if they get up and go to the bathroom, we're going to have to check on them.
Do you think he's done that before and just stood there for a while and slept? And then just
finished? Oh, like if he got up in the middle of the night and we were asleep?
He could have been doing it like all along. We didn't know.
He just goes in the bathroom and sleeps, standing up.
Take a little cat nap.
Yeah. Here's a little bathroom story for you. Or not a story, but just something I noticed. I went to work the other day and I think I was about an hour and 20 minutes away from home. I was getting ready to head back. And I got that thing in my belly. You know that.
That's no good.
And I was like, I don't know that I'm going to make an hour.
That's no good for car trips.
No. But I was going to fight it. I was going to try. Missed the mark by about 23 minutes.
That's very specific.
Yeah, so I'm coming down 17 and I'm headed, and it's like, I was almost to Shalote. And I go, it's not going to happen.
I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it
home.
Were you squeezing your butt cheeks? Like,
I was sweating, like I had the beads come down my forehead,
sweat.
you know?
Oh my gosh.
And then I see a sign that says rest stop half mile. And I was like, ugh, okay, well, I guess that's where it's going to go down. And the whole little drive into that place, I was like, this is going to be bad. Like it's going to be gross. Like I'm fixing to have to use a bathroom, and the sit down kind of bathroom at a rest stop. Well, I get out and I start walking towards the building. I walk down this pathway, and there's like flowers, and it's all nicely put together and built, and everything looks real nice. And I'm like, this is strange. And I go into the bathroom. It's probably the cleanest bathroom I ever been to in my life. It was nice. I was like, I might not poop at home tomorrow. I might just hold it.
Oh
so
my
I can come here
gosh.
again. Cause I mean, like, I've never really gone to rest stops. All that I really know about is like the movies. And this is not how they portray it in the movies. In the movies, you go to a rest stop, you die.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, like you use the bathroom, and then all of a sudden, like somebody goes in the bathroom and they're kicking the stalls open one by one.
Yeah, right.
And you're at the end going, "Oh God, it's gonna get to me! It's gonna get to me!" And then he takes you, and you get buried under the trees somewhere. Like that was always my impression of the rest stop, and it was really nice. It was nice. They had picnic tables.
We're not going to the rest stop to have a
That's
picnic.
where we should have a picnic.
No, we're
tomorrow.
not.
You want to go there tomorrow and have a picnic?
No, I'm not going to our local rest stop.
Would you much rather go to the beach? Because you've had so much good luck with that lately. Why don't you tell that story? Because I feel
It crushes my heart.
I feel like that's something I can use the rest of my life.
Like against me? That's how you feel. You're going to use it against me.
Why don't you walk everybody through the events of your beach capades from the past week?
Well, last week it was spring break, and two of our nieces were over here, and I guess I just got a wild hair, and I was like, all right, kids, you guys want to go to the beach today? And I knew the water was too cold to go swimming. I didn't even put swimsuits on our kids. I just put them in like shorts and stuff. And I was like, look, you can go and play in the sand and build sand castles, and you can get your feet wet. I was like, we just can't go swimming. It's too cold. So they were good with it. So we go down there, we eat our lunch on the beach, we have a picnic, and then I let the kids play. We had a great time. It was a great time. They had so much fun. Well, later that night, we're sitting here, and I have several different weird little weird things that I do.
Do you remember why you were sitting beside me?
I don't.
I was sitting in the recliner, my big old man chair, and I went, Katie, come here. You got to see this. I was showing you something on TV, and the yoga ball was there.
And I sat down on it.
And you sat down on it, and I remember all of a sudden you went, and you looked at me, and you looked like the look on your face was of nothing or no look I've ever seen you give before. Like, it was weird. You looked like a different person.
I grabbed my finger, because like I'll grab my hand and like touch my rings. You know, it's just one of those habits.
Your engagement and wedding ring.
Yeah, they've been on my finger for almost 12 years. You know, it's a habit. And I realized they weren't there, and I remembered taking them off at the beach. Mm-hmm. And my heart sank. Oh my God, it felt like my heart just sank like to my feet. It was the most awful feeling, because I was like, they're gone. I took them off. I was putting sunscreen on all the kids. I had 5 kids, and I was putting I can't get my words out. I was putting sunblock on all the kids, and my hands were sandy, and so I just took my rings off because they were just getting all gunky, and I put them in the cup holder of my chair.
A little tent chair.
Yeah, and I forgot about them. Well, I remember
when you got done at the beach, you took these chairs and picked them up and shook them violently.
Whenever we were packing up our stuff, I picked up my chair and folded it back up, and I like picked it up in the air and shook it to get the sand out of like the bottom little feet things. So I imagine that's probably when I lost my rings, and I was just, oh my God.
And it was later that night. Yeah. Thankfully. The good news almost immediately was like, I know my dad has a metal detector.
It's like, all right, we're going to go look for him.
Tomorrow we're going to the beach, and we're going to find him. Now, we get down to the beach, and I was like, Katie, where like, about where were you? And you were kind of like, it's kind of difficult because the tide could have been different. We'll figure it out. And I was like, you know what we're going to do? Make this big grid. Like on these true crime shows.
Yeah. We'll just grid it off. We'll find these things. We're gonna surely they're here.
Grid this metal detector. I had my ring because our wedding rings like matched. And I buried mine in the sand and kept adjusting the metal detector to where when it hit that ring, it was like, bah! So we were good to go. We had a plan. I was walking long distances. We had this big square and I would drag my feet. Like anybody from the houses were like, oh my God, that poor guy. Because I looked like I was crippled.
Oh my gosh.
Like metal detecting.
This poor handicapped dude. Yeah. He's probably out here looking for change or something.
In reality, what I was doing was I was dragging my feet through the sand so that when I got to the end, I could turn around and see exactly where I was. So this was strategic.
Yeah.
We were going to find these rings. I was going to bring them home. That way I could hold that against you. Like, yeah, made these bad decisions. I'm going to have to go save you like I did the rings. But sadly, it didn't turn out that way. We did not find these rings because when you lose wedding rings at a beach, you just lost wedding rings at a beach. And that's all there is to the story.
They gone.
Yeah.
If anybody on Oak Island, North Carolina, found not one, but 2 rings. 2.
And you haven't pawned them yet?
They mine.
Please email the Bob and Katie Show at gmail.com and let us know you got those rings. So the odds of that would be spectacular.
Astronomical.
Yeah. It might happen though, because
I believe it.
You know what?
Who knows? Crazier things have happened.
I was withholding this information from being super public, but I want to tell this story, so people are just going to have to know, I guess. I'm starting to get back into music a little bit, dabbling with some music. Me and some friends of mine, we're doing some things, and I was like, Katie, I gotta buy a bass, because I haven't played in a band in almost 10 years. It's like I need to go get a good bass, and I really wanted to get one like I had before. And I found one. You found it, actually. You picked this out and you're like, this is pretty. And I looked at it, I was like, oh, that's pretty too. But it turns out you can't buy it anywhere. Like it's just gone. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, I really want one like I used to have. And we were here one night. And I've been looking around for like 3 weeks at this point, trying to find what I was looking for. And I was like, you know what I should check? I should check Facebook Marketplace just to see if like somebody's selling a bass. I never open this app. I never open it. And I open it and I type in bass, and the first thing that pops up is a bass that looked identical almost to the one I used to have.
Yeah.
And I could tell in the background, it was at a pawn shop. So I sent a message, I was like, hey, blah, 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 where are you at? And it turns out it was in our...
No, I was like, you need to call them
now. Were like, you need to
I was like,
them.
That might be yours. Call them.
It was like 11 o'clock at night. I sent a message, and it turns out it was at a Pawn USA, not the same Pawn USA that we talked about in previous episodes. This is in a different town. It's the same company, I guess, in Leland, where we grew up. But I sold that bass. I think I sold my bass, 9 years ago? Somewhere in Wilmington, I think. Well, we get there and I'm looking at it and I was like, wow, this really does look like the one that I used to have. I'm going to buy this bass. I'm going to buy it. So I'm haggling, and, he gives me a price, and it's a fair price, but I feel like I could get it a little bit lower. So I throw out a low price. And I asked the guy, I was like, does it have a case? And he's like, no, it doesn't have a case. Well, I threw out this price. And then when he met it, which I felt like he was, I'm good at this. You know me. I can haggle with people. I was going to go, why don't you go in the back and see if you can find any case that might be on another guitar, and I'll throw in another $20. That was my plan. Well, my legs started to get uncomfortable. Sometimes you're standing a certain way for a while. You just got to adjust.
Yeah.
And I adjusted. And when I did, I could see behind the counter on the ground. And what I saw, my stomach dropped.
Probably not as bad as mine did when I realized my rings was gone.
Yeah. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And I know that dude, like when I panicked. And that guy probably looked at me like, what is happening right now? Is this dude having a stroke?
That's my case.
I saw
That's my case right there. That's it. That's mine.
The case to the bass I sold 9 years ago laying on the ground. And that's what I said to him. I said, that's my case. And I'm sure he had no context. He didn't know that this bass looked like a bass I used to have.
Yeah,
All of a
okay.
sudden, all of a sudden, this guy's just like, that's my case. That's my case.
That's it.
Goes,
I will take that one right there.
and he goes, no, this is what? And I was like, pick that case up off the floor and put it on this counter. And he puts it on the counter and he's like, he doesn't understand. Like in his mind, I'm losing it. This dude's going crazy. And he's like, I better pick the case up and put it on the counter. He puts it on the counter and he opens it up. Now, this is where the dude gets real confused because when you open this case up, the shape is cut out for the guitar, but the shape is to a Fender P bass. And that's not what I was buying. I was buying a Thunderbird, which is a completely
Very different body shape.
shape. Like it's very obvious that this bass did not go in this case. And that's what he said to me. He was like, no, this is for a Fender P bass. And I leaned in and I go, you see this chunk right here that's missing out of this case? I said, I cut that out. Lay that bass up here and it'll slide inside. Oh, nice and smooth, and you could see, he started to panic. And that's when I noticed, I was like, why is he scared that this bass is going to fit in here? And he grabs the bass and he puts it in there and sure enough, fit right in. I can't believe it. I'm like, what are the odds that this is what are the odds that all of a sudden after 9 years, I'm like, I think I'm going to play music. And then I'm like, I wish I had the bass I used to have. And then I open up something that I never look in, the marketplace.
Yeah.
And there's a bass that looks like
wild,
mine. And it's crazy.
It's wild.
Well, I take the bass out and I'm looking at it and I hear the guy go, you might want to look at this. And I walk over and the case on the inside is wet. Like it got sat in some water or something. So I looked at the bass and the bass is fine. I don't know what the deal was with the case. And I go, I don't care. I'm taking it. So I pay for, and I didn't even offer that $20 that I originally, cause he accepted my low offer. And I didn't even offer the $20 because I was like, no, this bass definitely came out of this case. And there was another lady working and she goes, yeah, I think that bass came out of that case. So it confirmed everything. And then after I left, cause I was so worked up that I wasn't thinking clearly. And then finally when I calmed down later, I was like, he knew that bass came out of that case. He was telling me, he lied to me.
He probably knew it was wet.
He knew that case was wet and he was trying to make the sell on this bass. And that's why when I said that I cut that out and I know it fits there, I saw the panic on his face because he already knew that case was wet inside. Well, I just want to be like, well, listen to this, sir. I'm from Leland, North Carolina. Leland, North Carolina before it got stoplights. When there was just one or two sitting around.
By Frosty's?
That's right. I took the case, took it to your mama's house, put it on top of her car in the sunlight, and I grabbed a stick.
How many people are like, why did you take it to her mama's house?
Because I lived an hour away. So
because we were there that day.
Oh, yeah, we were already there.
We were dyeing Easter eggs that day. It was the day before Easter. We were all over there. So you came to meet me.
I came to meet you. And I told you the story and stuff. And I put this case, without the bass in, I put this case on top of your mama's car because her car was parked in the part of the yard where the sun
and there's children all around that, they touch everything. I mean, even the mayonnaise isn't safe. So you can't just go leaving guitar cases laying around thinking they're not going to touch it.
The problem is it's a hard shell case and it was really windy outside. So this case didn't stand a chance at staying open. So I went and got a stick out of the woods. And propped it up.
That's what you do in Leland.
Yeah, like you would the hood of a car. Well, now it's practically a sailboat at this point because the wind's blowing. So I looked out the window one time to check on it, and it's just spinning in circles on top of your mom's car. And I was like, oh God.
Oh my goodness.
But now we left out a little bit of context that some might be a little bit confusing that I didn't even think about. Somebody might think, how could you have just looked at this case and knew it was yours? It probably looked like every other rectangular guitar case ever made. How could you be so certain that that case was the one that you hadn't seen in a decade? Well, boys and girls, let me tell you how I knew. because when I had that case, I sat down one night for 3 hours and wrapped it in black duct tape.
I remember you doing that.
And now you might be going, well, why? Because I was poor and that case had been beat to hell and it was falling apart. And that was the only logical thing I could think of at the time to be able to continue, riding and playing music places, was to just wrap it. I think how it started out was I covered up a couple pieces that were torn and ripped. And then I was like, it looks weird. Let's make it look more weird. And I just wrapped it.
Just cover the whole thing.
Just strips. And you can't just wrap around it because it's a functioning thing that has to open. So I had to strategically cut places and I did it for a long time. Mm-hmm. And then when I got done, I was like, you know what? I might as well do the handle too. And I wrapped the handle completely up in duct tape. And that is how it was when I found it.
Oh, yeah. Ain't nobody just going to unwrap it.
No, ain't nobody going to unduct tape
it would probably
a guitar
fall
case.
apart
It would tear
anyway.
it to pieces. So, but yeah, I stuck it out in the
It's
sun.
all moist. Ugh.
Moist. I stuck it out in the sunlight and dried it up, and now we
No, it's
got
probably
it.
growing
Yeah.
Ebola.
It might be. It's upstairs in the closet right now. The case is. It's gonna.
Probably hazardous.
Ground zero. This is where it's gonna happen, guys. You heard it here. When the zombie apocalypse happens, it's from that story. This really
It's
weird
from Bob's guitar
one
case that got
in a
wet.
millionth chance of finding something from 10 years ago in a place it shouldn't be. But sometimes you go, you look, you find your laugh.
Sometimes you find your bass.
This has been a Cabcast Studios production. For more episodes and information, visit cabcaststudios.com.